Here with another episode of On the Bench presented by the Bench Market. Pleased to be joined by V's goaltender Yaniv Perets, our guest this week. And Yanni, was a tough week for the V's last week, finishing off on Saturday with a 4-0 loss to Chilliwack. Just take me through the week that was for the V's and then trying to bounce back from that week into this week.
It was obviously a tough week for us, losing the game to Coquitlam and then at home against Chilliwack. But we'll bounce back this week and be ready to go for all 3 games.
So get a little bit of info on you now. I know you're a Quebec guy, so what was it like for you to experience the West Coast for the first time, coming all the way from out east?
Yeah, so it was my first time out here for sure, and I honestly love it. I mean, so many beautiful sights. The people are so nice, and everyone's just so relaxed.
What are some of the biggest differences between Quebec and here? Obviously, there's a language barrier in there, but what are some of the biggest differences that you notice?
I'd probably say the sights. I mean, there's not many mountains where I'm from. Not the mountains. There's no snow here. Back at home, there's a lot of snow. Penticton, I'm pretty lucky that there hasn't been any snow yet. I know there's supposed to be a little bit later on, but right now there's no snow. So yeah, that's cool.
So, you mentioned the snow, and obviously coming into the winter, there's a lot of it. Penticton gets a little bit of it, of course, but what is your favorite season of the year? When you look at all 4 of the seasons, what kind of a guy are you?
Probably winter. I guess it's like the hockey season, so I guess you probably enjoy that just because hockey's around. But yeah, I'd probably go with winter. Yeah.
So we got this perspective a couple of weeks ago when I had Connor Hutchison on the bench, and he mentioned living with you and kind of the awkwardness of the first couple of weeks of that. Now I'll ask that question to you and what it's been like for yourself living with a guy from New York.
I thought everything is going fine, so I can't complain. Everything's great. Yeah.
So coming into this season, obviously your first season in the BC Hockey League, and you've also had a new goaltender partner as well, Carl Stankowski, who the V's got about a month ago. What has your and Carl's relationship been like? Because it seems like when we go on the road, you guys are always hanging out. You guys are always together, and is that kind of what it's felt like? It's been a good bond ever since you two met?
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's really easy to talk to, easy to hang out with. So yes, whenever we're on the road, I guess maybe we sit down together when we eat at restaurants and stuff. But no, we get along super well. He's a super nice guy. I can't say a bad thing about him.
So coming into to this year, as mentioned, your first one in Penticton, obviously pretty exciting for you to get out here and get to Penticton. And, it's funny when you talk about goaltenders because obviously there's kind of a superstition around goaltenders who have a quote-unquote weird personality. I don't think that you're a weird guy at all, but when you look at some of the things that other goalies do, is there any kind of superstitions that you have that come into your kind of game and your kind of game day routine?
I got some superstitions, obviously, but I try to keep it on superstitions I could control, not stuff that are out of my control. So let's say if it doesn't work out, I know it doesn't affect my game if I don't do a certain thing. But yeah, I got simple stuff. I'll get dressed. Let's say I put my right sock on first, then my left one. And there's a bunch of other ones, but I'll just start with just simple stuff that I could control, and just go from there.
So a couple of rapid fire questions to finish off for you. I always like to ask this question because if you were stranded on an island with no one else but one of your teammates, who would you pick?
Probably go my goalie partner, Carl. Seems like a nice guy, so I'll go with him.
If you were to navigate anywhere in the world without a map to try and get from point A to point B, who would you like to pick in that spot? Who do you think could get you to the right spot without any kind of GPS or map or anything?
I feel like Martini just knows where he's going all the time, so I'll go with him.
And lastly for you now, obviously, everybody's got a bit of a sweet tooth and everybody's got, a little bit of a guilty pleasure. Do you have a sweet tooth? And if you do, what's kind of the thing that you gravitate towards?
Probably ice cream. Maybe if I have some, maybe ice cream. I like vanilla, I guess. Or yeah, I'd probably go with ice cream.
Well, appreciate your time. Thanks so much for this, Yaniv, and it was great getting a look at you today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Join me next week for another episode of On the Bench presented by the Bench Market, where my guest will be V's forward Liam Noble.